welcome. We would focus on some of the kind of MCQs which can be formed from the section on life processes, the topic from biology in your class 10th. Now, to understand, first of all, we need to focus on that this topic we have already covered in the video in YouTube lecture. So, the complete lecture is available here. In this class, we would specifically be focusing on the MCQs since your term 1 examination is based solely on MCQ. So, what you need to remember while going through this chapter. So this is a 21 page chapter. Now here the first page focuses on just an insight. Let's say we see a dog running, we see a dog barking, we see plants, we see the leaves of the plants, we see various phenomena on our daily basis. And why do these happen? These happen because all of these movements or activities are associated with some form of life. So therefore this is a very introduction section. Now what are life processes? What are the major life processes that we talk about? So use of energy, breakdown of the energy, and utilization of the energy. Based on the complexity of the carbon sources, there are various ways under which the process of nutrition runs. So the first is the nutrition that we would understand. The next is understanding the various sources, the oxidizing reduction mechanisms that helps in breakdown of the material. And then we have the process of respiration. So the next is process of respiration we would understand. The next important questions that would be formed would be on the process how the exchange of material, the removal of waste takes place, and therefore we would also talk about transportation and finally excretion. So those are some of the major processes that we would address. Now what kind of MCQs? So this was an introductory section, but not much kind of questions can directly come from that section, but this would help you form an insight about the kind of questions. Now here we come up with the kind of questions. What are the things that organisms use for the upkeep and the growth, and this are what are the biocatalysts, also known as enzymes. The next is what do the classification include for autotrophic and heterotrophic. So heterotrophic organisms include what? So animal and fungi are part of heterotrophic organisms. Autotrophs are plants and green algae or green growth that we can see. Now what is the process of autotrophic nutrition? Autotrophs do the nutrition by the process of photosynthesis. So what is the process of photosynthesis? Utilization of carbon dioxide and water in presence of sunlight would give you glucose and oxygen. So carbohydrate would be formed in the form of starch, which could be used for the internal energy for the green plants. And then we have release of oxygen. So glucose plus oxygen is what is released. Now this is another important question. We also store energy in the form of glycogen. The energy which is stored in the form of in our muscles is the lactic acid. Now next is we need to understand the process of photosynthesis. This diagram is exceptionally important diagram. The functions of guard cells, the functions of chloroplast, and then we have this is a cross section of the leaf or the lamina, which is the leaf blade, and the midrib. From the midrib we take a vertical section, a cross section, and we have the upper epidermis, the waxy cuticle here, and the lower epidermis. The lower epidermis has the guard cells which have stomatal openings. Now there are events which occur. What are the events? First is the light is absorbed by the chlorophyll. The chlorophyll is the green pigment. Then we have conversion of this light energy to chemical energy, and then finally reduction to carbohydrates. Okay, so these are the steps involved. Now the very important question that can come here is the desert plants. How do desert plants take up carbon dioxide at the night and they prepare an intermediate which is utilized during the daytime when you have the action on the chlorophyll that occurs. Okay, so how desert plant function is an important question that can come here. Chlorophyll, the questions related to chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is stored in chloroplast. and that is already mentioned here, so diagram becomes important. And this is an activity where we have a variegated leaf. Before and after the starch test, how we can see the color changes. Wherever you have green pigment would change because we have the conversion into the starch that is seen. Now this is the stomata, the open and the closed stomata. The stomatas are guarded by the guard cells. So stomatal opening and the guard cell. Guard cell is important, so questions related to guard cell are important. The next is opening and the closing is the function of what? As I mentioned, the guard cell. The guard cell swell when the water flows into them, and this causes the pore to open. So as the guard cells swell, it causes what? It causes the pores to open up, and then you have shrinking with the closure of the guard cell. There is another activity which can come as a case study, and this is where you have a glass where you have potassium hydroxide which is placed, and we have an experiment where we put in potassium hydroxide, the other plant where we do not put potassium hydroxide, and the impact. Now these are the kind of questions that can come on a case based studies. Clear? The next is heterotrophic nutrition. We are much familiar with heterotrophic nutrition. Now the food source can be stationary or mobile. Those which are primary consumers which depend directly on green plants would go for a stationary food source, for example grass. So deer would take grass, but lion would take a mobile food source which is deer. Okay, so that is how we differ here. And then we have fungi like bread mold, yeast and mushroom. So what are the examples of fungi? Again given. So 3 examples important. The next important question is, we see various organisms which have parasitic properties. What are the examples? Again important. Cuscuta, amarbale, ticks, lice, leech and tapeworm are good examples. The next is how organisms obtain their nutrition. So for amoeba, it is the motion of the pseudopodia and engulfing of the food vacuole. So amoeba and food vacuole is a good example. The false legs, pseudo means false, podia means legs. So false legs are pseudopodia, and this is one of the examples that is given here. For paramecium, it is the food groove and a specific spot where the food enters in. Paramecium has cilia. So another way for movement in paramecium is cilia. However, in amoeba, there is no cilia, but in case of Euglena, it is flagella which is present. So that is another thing which is important. Coming on next is the nutrition in human beings. Now, how nutrition takes place in human beings? The whole process can be explained with a simple diagram here. So the first is the saliva, which converts the salivary amylase, which break down the starch into simple sugars, and this passes through the esophagus. We have the epiglottis, which is the movement which is seen here, and then the peristalsis, which is the movement, the glottis and the epiglottis, and then the food enters the stomach. From the stomach, it enters into small intestine, finally into large intestine, and is released. Now in this whole process, there is the constant movement which is known as peristalsis. So the movement across the esophagus or the food pipe. So there are 2 pipes, one is food pipe, the other is wind pipe running parallel, and across the food pipe is the movement across the food pipe is known as peristalsis. So the peristalsis movement occurs here. Then we have the glands which release juices. So in the stomach, we have the gastric glands. These release what? Hydrochloric acid and pepsin. Pepsin digests what? Pepsin digests protein. Salivary amylase acts on the carbohydrate. So the process of acting on the carbohydrate starts in the mouth itself through the saliva. In the stomach, it is pepsin, which is the protein digesting enzyme which starts, and this is released along with HCl, hydrochloric acid. Now in the stomach, sometimes we hear about the term acidity. Now this is what? This is the acid reflux which happens due to higher amount of acid which is generated. Now the next is the small intestine. This is the longest part. So again important MCQ, longest part which is small intestine. And in herbivores, for example cows, etc., grass eating organisms, cellulose is easily digested. However, carnivores have shorter intestine, and as a result they cannot digest cellulose. Meat is relatively easier to digest. So herbivores have longer intestine. Small intestine is longer in herbivores as compared to carnivores. Again, important MCQ which is formed here. The next important thing is secretions from liver and pancreas. Now from pancreas we have pancreatic enzymes. Bile juice comes from liver, and this acts on what? It acts on fat and fat globules. So pancreas secrete the pancreatic juice, which contains enzymes like trypsin, which digest protein, and lipase, which breaks down the fat. Clear? So those are the things that we understand here. Enzymes are finally present. So enzymes are present which basically convert the proteins into amino acids, carbohydrates into simple sugars, and fats into fatty acid and glycerol. So it is simplification of each of the three compounds. What are the three compounds? For carbohydrate into simple glucose, for fats into fatty acid and glycerol, for proteins into amino acids. Clear? So this is how we understand. Then we have villi. What are villi? Villi are present on the linings of small intestine, and their idea is to increase the surface area. They are richly supplied with blood vessels, and the food is absorbed through the villi. So that is the function of villi. Again, a very important question. The exit of the waste material is regulated by what? Is regulated by a sphincter which is known as anal sphincter. Dental caries, which basically occur, the tooth decay or the softening of the enamel and the dentine which occurs, is explained through the bacteria which act on sugar and produce acid which soft and demineralize the enamel. Clear? The next is respiration. Now the process of respiration is explained here, how lime water turns milky, and this explains the presence of carbon dioxide in our in our breath. The next is the process of conversion. Now we talk about breakdown of glucose into simple sugars. Now pyruvate can be converted into ethanol and carbon dioxide, and this takes place in yeast during fermentation. This is in the absence of air and is known as anaerobic respiration. So under the process of anaerobic respiration, what happens? Pyruvate breaks down into ethanol and carbon dioxide. This breakdown happens where? It occurs in mitochondria. So all of these are important questions from your MCQ point of view. Now how do we understand this? This diagram itself is all enough in order to understand what is given in the paragraph above. So absence of oxygen, we have ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy which is released. It happens in yeast. It is also known as anaerobic. In lack of oxygen in our muscles, we have formation of lactic acid, which is 3-carbon molecule. Ethanol is a 2-carbon molecule. In presence of oxygen, which is aerobic, it is basically breakdown into carbon dioxide, water and energy. It happens in mitochondria. Clear? So in presence of oxygen, it occurs in mitochondria. Then during the oxygen, using the oxygen, it occurs in mitochondria. In absence of oxygen, it occurs in the cytoplasm. Okay, so that is the basic difference that we have understood here. Now what is ATP? ATP, how it is formed? The endothermic reaction process in the cell which uses ATP to drive the energy and the reaction is again important. Clear? The next is we talk about various things which are harmful for us. So for example, tobacco, any form of tobacco which could be used. Smokeless tobaccos are again important risk factors for heart, pulmonary disorders and cancer. India has one of the higher proportions of oral cancers because of use of direct and indirect use of tobacco. Now the next important thing is dissolved oxygen, which is used by fish, and fish uses it through the gills. Then we have terrestrial organisms which have lungs, predominantly the way through which they have respiration in the mammals, and then in human beings we understand the process of respiration through the lungs. So as you can see the diagram, the ring of cartilage, the pharynx, larynx, and then we have this whole structure in the lungs, which is further subdivided into smaller branches, which is known as alveoli. The bronchi is there, and this is divided into the smaller ones, which is bronchioles, and final the bronchioles have the alveoli. These alveoli have the alluvial sac, which is there. Now alveoli are the balloon like structure, and they are the terminal sections which have larger surface area. So their aim is to increase the surface area for higher exchange of gas, and this is very similar to the role of villi, whose role is to increase the surface area for better absorption, and here it is better exchange of gas. Okay, the next important thing is we understand that we carry out various things, and how carbon dioxide is more soluble in water than oxygen, and hence it is transported in the dissolved form in our blood systems or blood capillaries. Clear? The next is transportation. Now in transportation, the first thing is blood. Now what does blood consist of? Blood consists of plasma in which cells are suspended. Plasma transports what? Plasma transports food, carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste in the dissolved form. Oxygen is carried through RBC. So all this is what is understood under the process of transportation. So we understand in simple terms the role of heart. The four chambers of the heart, the auricles on the top, the right atrium and the left atrium, and the ventricles in the south, so right and the left, and then we have the septum, which is the dividing wall, the vena cava from the lower body, which brings in the blood here, and this blood is further processed. Now what we understand here is the way through which we understand the process of heart. So the four chambers of the heart, how the blood is transported between the heart and the lungs, the purification of the blood that takes place, the deoxygenated blood. So from aorta, the pure blood is transported to the body, and the impure blood from the vena cava goes to the heart. Now from heart it reaches the pulmonary artery. From the pulmonary artery it reaches the lungs. In the lungs the process of purification takes place, and it comes back to the heart, and from heart it is supplied to the various chambers. So we have the ventricle which supplies it to the various chambers. Okay, now the walls. Where do we have the walls and where we do not have the walls? The right atrium contracts, and this corresponds with the right ventricle which dilates, and this transfer of the blood to the ventricle brings in or pumps in the lungs for the process of oxygenation. Now walls ensure that there is no backward flow, so the blood does not flow backward and flows only in one direction. So another important question, what is the role of walls here? Then we talk about how various other organisms behave. So fishes have two-chambered heart, another important question that you must cover here. Reptiles have three-chambered hearts except crocodile. Amphibians again have three-chambered heart except crocodile and reptiles, which has four-chambered heart. So crocodile is an exception here. The next is blood pressure, the systolic and the diastolic. Diastolic, so systole, which is the contraction, and the diastole, which is the relaxation. So diastolic is 80 and systolic is 120 millimeters of mercury. So these two are important. Then how we measure the blood pressure, so the name of the instrument, again important. Then we have the blood vessels. Now we have the arteries and the veins. Now what is arteries? Arteries do not carry pure blood, because we have pulmonary artery as an exception which carries impure blood. So a correct definition of artery is it carries blood away from the heart. So A for artery, A for away. And this is again a very important MCQ that you must know. They are under high pressure and therefore have thick elastic walls, in contrast to veins which do not have thick elastic walls. Clear? Then we have platelets. The idea of platelets is to bring in clotting. So any any time there is internal bleeding that can occur, we need to have a higher platelet count. So whenever there is a situation where we are injured or bleeding starts, in that case platelet formation is important. The next is lymph. Lymph is another fluid which is involved with the process of transportation. We have this which is present in the various tissue forms or the tissue fluid, and it drains into the lymphatic capillaries. The next is transportation in plants. So how transportation in plants takes place is important. So again, we need to understand the process of xylem and phloem. So xylem moves water and minerals from the soil, and phloem transports the food products to the various organs of the plant or the various parts of the plant. So the role of xylem and phloem, again an important topic for MCQ. Then xylem, what are the systems which are interconnected and how it functions is another important topic that we cover. The next is transpiration. So what is the role of transpiration? Transpiration helps in absorption and upward movement of the water and dissolved minerals from the roots to the leaves. So again an important question. It also helps in temperature regulation. Clear? The next is translocation of food. How it helps happens through the sieve tubes upward and downwards, and the simple forces in translocation that act. The next is excretory system. Now excretory system, in human beings we have kidney, the pair of ureter, and the urinary bladder, finally the urethra where it opens. How urine is produced, how it is filtered. So it filters out the waste from the blood, and how it is removed. We also talk about the nephrons which are present within the kidney. Now, similar to the alveoli in the lungs, we have nephrons in the kidney. So, here is the structure. We have the collecting duct, the Bowman's capsule, the glomerulus within the Bowman's capsule, the renal artery and the renal vein, and the tubular part. So, how the filtration process occurs. So, once this absorption takes place, the details of the nephron are not given here. So, that's the only thing. The theoretical part that you have to understand, the process of filtration is not mentioned at this level. So, that's available in your higher standards. So, at this point, you have to just focus on what is Bowman's capsule, the shape of the Bowman's capsule, the role of the Bowman's capsule, and how filtration occurs. What is hemodialysis, which is the artificial kidney, and how the role of artificial kidney actually works. Then we talk about organ donation as another important part. The organs which can be donated, so liver, pancreas, lungs, intestine, bone marrow, kidney and heart, cornea. In eye, it's just cornea. So you can have various other organs of the eye which are given, and then cornea would be the right option. And then we have the process of excretion in plants that happens. So plant excrete waste in the soil. They also have waste products as resins or gums. Sometimes they have cellular vacuoles which are through which the waste is released. So those are some of the important points that we have covered, and the sample MCQ. So as we said, the role of xylem phloem is important. The role of kidney occurs for excretion. So that's a very basic level of question. Kidneys, lungs, hearts, what are their role? Breakdown of pyruvate into carbon dioxide. Then we have breakdown in presence of oxygen, how it occurs, and where it occurs. So the role of mitochondria, the autotrophic mode of nutrition and the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, the organisms which have 2-chambered heart, 3-chambered heart and 4-chambered heart. Also the process of respiration, the process of excretion within plants and animals are important. So that was about this lecture. Some of the important MCQs that can be formed. Picture based study can also come. Stomata is another important section. Then we have the structure of heart, the structure of lungs are another important question. Sometimes you can have questions where let's say we have the structure of heart given here, and that structure of heart you would have one of the labelings which would be marked as XYZ. So let's say this labeling is marked as X. You have to identify what is this. So that can be another kind of question. We can have case based questions, activity based questions where demonstration activity as mentioned in the experiment above can be given, and you can be simply asked about what is the correct response for that activity. So those are about some of the important questions that can come up from this lecture. We would be covering many such important topics for your term 1 CBSE class 10. Stay tuned for many more updates. Stay subscribed. Good luck.